New reports say former President Bill Clinton is going to be identified as one of several John Does named in previously redacted documents related to convicted Jeffrey Epstein.
It's been 84 years.
Well. We have the files, many of which people on Twitter are saying, yeah, we already knew a lot about this. Yes, you are correct. We did know a lot of the kind of like big creepazoids, et cetera. However, one key factor has been revealed to us through this process, and that is everything the left has been saying about these files, about the list, lording it over people like Donald Trump and conservatives and right-wing people, things like that. Turns out it was all false. Turns out absolute creeps like Bill Clinton, apparently Leonardo DiCaprio, Mr. I want to save the environment, and even the wheelie guy, the smart wheelie guy, apparently, allegedly, was spending time watching people engage in activities, from his wheelchair, robotically saying like, ow, 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 or whatever that might be. I don't know. A lot of interesting people on these lists. And coincidentally, Donald Trump, the guy that they've been lording this over, his associations with, oops, it accidentally exonerated him. Who could have foreseen this? Now let's get into all this insanity, by the way. Hey, I'm doing a quick push today only. I'm giving away a bunch of Amazon $70 gift cards that I have left over from the last contest. All you have to do to be eligible is use the link in the description to enter. And if you're already doing these things, then you can still enter. All you have to do is follow my Instagram. If you use Instagram, don't just create an account just to follow me. Use Instagram, or follow my Instagram, like a post. You can enter also by following my liking and following my Facebook page and sharing a post. And if you also use TikTok, you can do that as well. I'm working really hard this year to try. My goal is to save the Zoomers. And this is the only way to reach them, is to utilize other forms of social media. And I need your help to do so. And I will happily give you some sweet prizes to do so. Link in the description. Now, the A-listers, politicians, and leading figures named in the files. Of course, Prince Andrew, we all know. Bill Clinton, something like 90 times. Also interesting quotes about Bill, quote, liking them young. Naomi Campbell, Leonardo DiCaprio, and many more. The identities of dozens of well-known figures linked to the island have been revealed. Of course, we know high-profile people such as Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Al Gore. Didn't that guy invent the internet? I'm not going to remember. Kevin Spacey, Stephen Hawking, we're all included in evidence filings. You mean the smartest man on the planet went to that island and didn't put together that maybe something weird was going on there? I don't know about that. Of course, that's just my opinion, Also mentioned were the late physicist Stephen Hawking and magician David Copperfield. Wow, they really did just have everyone there. The list also mentions actors Leonardo DiCaprio, Cate Blanchett, Cameron Diaz, and Bruce Willis are in there, as well as model Naomi Campbell. Interesting stuff. Now, of course, just because they're on the list or they're on these documents, that doesn't necessarily mean that they've done anything in particular. Now, what does it say about them? Well, we all know about Prince Andrew, right? We all know the claims that were made about him. I happen to believe they're all true, but that's neither here nor there, of course. Bill Clinton. There were also mentions of Bill, something like 90. And here's one of the most interesting things. One, that Jeffrey himself claimed that Bill, quote, liked him young. Joanna Schoberg told lawyers. She also said, I knew and had dealings with Bill. I did not know they were friends until I read the Vanity Fair article about them going to Africa together. Asked if he'd ever talked about the former president. He said that one time Clinton likes him young, referring to girls. Now, how young does that mean? I don't know. Leonardo DiCaprio also likes them young. But they are, from what I can tell, historically always still of age, so it doesn't necessarily mean that he likes, the extremely young ones. But what I thought was really funny about this, one of the most interesting parts, of course, everybody, if you Google it right now, if you Google the list, you will see Donald Trump in nearly every headline. But what every single mainstream media, what every single mainstream media is accidentally forgetting is he's completely exonerated in these documents. Clinton and Trump are named in these documents. No wrongdoing alleged. I don't know if one guy saying he likes him young and the other mention of him saying he's never been to the island, he's never been to the house, he's never been here, he's never been there, he's never been here, I never massaged him, I never did that. I think one of them has a little stronger case. A little stronger case. If we look at this, this document, or one of the parts of the legal docs, this is my favorite part. Well, this is my favorite part. Breaking: mentions of former President Donald Trump exonerate him from any wrongdoing and say that he did not visit the island or his home. Here's the court testimony. Ms. McClawley, objection. The witness, no. By Ms. Menger, he's asking about people that they'd seen or met. Brings up Marvin Minsky. I don't know who that is. George Lucas, no. Donald Trump, no. Did you ever massage Donald Trump? No. Sorry, I have to ask, but did you ever, have to spend bedtime with Alan Dershowitz in the back of a limousine? She said no. Apparently that was something. Did you ever see Donald Trump at his home? No. On his island? No. In New Mexico? No. In New York? No. So, but every single mainstream media outlet, if you Google it, is like, oh, well, yeah, Trump and Clinton are basically the same thing. Now, a lot of these documents are, old hat. But I do think it's pretty funny to me that it's completely broken the mainstream. It's completely broken them. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle this because they were sure that they'd be able to hang this on Trump. And all these celebrities, what does it mean? Now you see, Kate Blanchett, Leonardo DiCaprio, Bruce Willis are among celebrities whose names were mentioned in the testimony of one of the accusers, who said that the late financier bragged about them while name dropping, although no evidence was provided that the stars even knew him. So the fact that he mentioned Leonardo DiCaprio or all these people, that doesn't necessarily mean they had anything to do with the island. So I want to be fair and honest about that. Now, when you talk about Bill, you talk about a guy that Jeffrey himself said liked him young. That Jeffrey himself said liked him young. I think that that's a curious thing to say. And then perhaps the most bizarre about it is the link to apparently I can't even know if I can say this sentence. Okay, I'm going to perhaps do my most gymnastics of gymnastics moment here. Prince Andrew, by the way, who again, in my heart of hearts have believed, is wildly guilty, had an under a sub-18 group event, okay, on the island as a girl was told to give him whatever he wants. And also, Stephen Hawking apparently also caught up in that mix. Apparently, Jeffrey begging to try and vindicate him. Jeffrey himself offered cash to prove claims that Stephen Hawking, in fact, did have an underage event were false. Bombshell court documents show. This is a real sentence that I just read in the year of our Lord 2024 about the guy that's like the robot genius guy. The strongest is, of course, this new version of the islands that Stephen Hawking had participated in an event. Okay. And you say this is from Jeffrey. Okay. Can you issue a reward money of to any of the Virginians, friends, acquaintance, family that come forward and help prove her claims are false? The strongest is the Clinton dinner. And the new version in the Virgin Islands that Stephen Hawking participated in an underage. I mean, how would he even participate? How would he even participate in that event? I'm not exactly sure how that works. How is he participating in an what is happening? What is even happening? I'm sorry, but I have to do it.
Oh, that feels so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like that.
oh, baby.
I thought about this all day. Oh,
Not so fast. You are hurting me. Oh,
I mean, these people are all demonic. It's like, I'm not a religious guy, but I believe demons are real. Is that a thing? Can I hold those two positions? People who are very strongly religious probably say I can't. But like, what? What? And of course, this list reignites suspicions that he was working for Mossad and blackmailing the rich and famous. I'm sure he was using. I don't know who he was working with. I'd say it's just as likely he worked with the FBI. Now, I can't prove that, okay? And I love my life and I would never choose to end it, okay? I can't prove that. But he was collecting an awful lot of information on a lot of high-profile people. I mean, the people, you see, this is the final nail in the coffin for Prince Andrew. The young dance party, we'll call it, will torpedo any hopes of scandal hit Duke of York returning to royal duties. I mean, are you joking? When you had Jeffrey himself say, yeah, Bill likes him young. In a 2011 interview, Ms. Guthrie mentioned that former President Bill Clinton's close personal relationship with Jeffrey, while she made no claims of bad behavior by Bill. Miss Jelaine, in her deposition, raised her comments about Bill as one of the obvious lies to which she was referring to in her public statement, forced on the basis of this suit. Nobody has come out and formally said anything, but I feel like, if you've been to the, here's the thing. His name is mentioned 50 times in the 950 pages of evidence. I would be mortified if my name was mentioned even once. Unless it was like, thanks to the crack reporting of Jeremy from the Quartering. I mean, what in the what? And then Bill kind of tacitly denies it. This whole thing is backfiring for the left. The media is melting down because, they don't understand why they've been lording this over conservative heads. It turns out it's just a bunch of Hollywood celebrities who are mentioned in the documents. Again, that does not mean they did anything wrong. Okay, it just means they were mentioned. When you got a guy like Bill, he was particularly mentioned. Prince Andrew, particularly mentioned. For whatever reason, Stephen Hawking, particularly mentioned. And this is just the beginning. There's even more coming on the 22nd. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Is this going to spawn new lawsuits? I hope so, because that means we have more discovery, more articles. I mean, of course, we know the story of Les Wexner. If he was a subject of kind of that first documentary that came out. It's wild to me that now the left doesn't know what to do. These are the men named in the documents. Wait a minute, there were women in those documents too. Oops. So the left is doing everything. And the very first person they list, Donald Trump. Oh, you know what they mentioned about him? That he did nothing, that he never visited there, that she never saw him, that she never had any dealings with him and never did anything wrong. Oops. Don't forget, link in the description. Help a brother out in 2024. I'm not asking you to create new profiles, but if you use Instagram, give me a follow there. If you use Facebook, give me a like and a follow there. And if you use TikTok, like I have 60 whole followers. I'm trying to save Gen Z, and I've hired an agency to help me do it. And I think it's an important cause because we're going to need them to get out and vote in 2024. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.